Hey guys, Ed from Paranormal Link, Ohio here, back at it again with another podcast episode. Tonight's podcast episode is about urban legends. I have looked into this and looked into this and looked into this, and I picked some of the ones that I thought would be better for tonight's episode, and I hope you guys like it. So we are going to get started. With everybody has heard this. I know everybody that listens to this, you or your parents or your grandparents have heard this one. It's called The Hook. So everybody knows urban legends come from out of nowhere. Each area has their own version of it. Just like with Crybaby Bridge, there's a Crybaby Bridge in every state of the United States. There's not just one certain Crybaby Bridge, and it's always the same story. The farmer killed their baby, and then the wife killed herself out of mourning for the baby. Not saying it's not true, I'm just saying it's almost like a rumor. Urban legends can be like rumors. They just, as they go, a little bit of the story changes each time. So we're going to start with The Hook. This is a total classic, involving a deranged dude with a hook for a hand who goes around attacking couples trying to make out in their cars. Usually, said couples are listening to the radio and find out that a serial killer has escaped a mental institution right before getting slashed to death. Oh, and our dude almost always leaves his hook hanging ominously in the car door in every story. This guy will leave his hook on the car door. So, either he's got a ton of hooks, or he just goes back and gets his hook back. I don't know, man. So we're going to go to the next one, and I'm going to try my hardest not to destroy this name, but it's Naalbaa, Naaleebaa. Naalbaa is an Indian urban legend involving a malevolent spirit dressed as a bride, who manipulates people into letting her inside their homes. But once you open the door, you're toast. That's it, you're dead. The only way to deter Naalbaa is to write her name on your door. So it's almost like the story in the Bible where they were coming for the firstborn, and if you painted a red line above the door, then, you know, the firstborn wouldn't be killed. Kind of like that. If you write Naalbaa on your front door, then Naalbaa can't get you. So we're going to move on to the Tiki Tiki. I probably destroyed that too. The legend of Tiki Tiki hails from Japan and involves the spirit of a young woman who was tragically cut in half during a train accident. Apparently, the top half of Tiki Tiki's body can be found wandering stations in the evenings, and legend says she'll cut you in half if you run into her. So yeah, something else to worry about next time you're taking the train home, is if you're going to get slashed in half by Tiki Tiki. Next up is the Rat King. Despite the name, the Rat King is not a cute rodent running around, running over his whiskered subjects. Rat King is the horrifying name for a phenomenon where rats become tangled together and form a giant super rat. The worst part is this is a thing that actually happens. So it's less of an urban legend and more of a terrifying glimpse at what's probably going down in the New York City subways. It's real. You guys, go to Google and type in the Rat King, or type in tangled rats. It's terrifying. And trust me, you'll hate it. The next up is the Roommate. This is one of those stories that gets passed around from friend to friend and is likely very untrue. But here's the deal. Once upon a time, a college student comes home after a party and sees her roommate lying in bed. No big deal, ordinary thing. So she goes to sleep. But when she wakes up the next morning, she sees that her roommate's throat has been slit. And the words, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?" are drawn on the wall in her roommate's blood. Let me tell you what, I wake up and see one of my friends with their throat sliced and something that says, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn..." Yeah, I'm glad I didn't turn the lights on. I'm alive. I'm still here. Yeah, that would freak me out. I read that one and was like, wow. And the scary part about that thing, they say it's untrue, but that is like one of the biggest ones that could actually happen in real life. Yeah, there's psychopaths out there, man. that will do that crazy stuff just for attention. And no thanks. Next up is the vanishing hitchhiker. This one has been around forever, thanks to multiple people telling the same story. They pick up a hitchhiker, everything's normal, and then poof, the hitchhiker vanishes from the car. That's it. That's the entire urban legend, and it's huge. Like, this urban legend goes all around the world. Most of these do, but this is the biggest one when I was looking up urban legends that came up constantly, was the vanishing hitchhiker. Some say it's a spirit, some say it's a demon, some say it's even a guardian angel that stops them from going somewhere in their car they shouldn't go and avoiding an accident. Nobody knows what it really is. The spider bite. This is just my worst. This would be my hell. If I die and go to hell, this is what will happen to me. Okay? It is an urban legend about a spider that bites. Its bite will swell up and burst, revealing millions of tiny baby spiders in the wound. Yes, get bit by this spider, it lays eggs inside of you, and then boom, baby spiders. I'd die right there on the spot. Like, I'd see spiders crawling all over me, and that's it. I'm done. Heart attack, right there on the spot. There are some reports of the brown recluse will bite you, and yes, their venom is so poisonous and it eats around your flesh. But there's also been, you look this up because I did, and I wish to God I never did, that the brown recluse will bite you, burrow inside of wherever it bit you, lay eggs, and stay there, not moving or anything, until the babies hatch. And then the mother brown recluse rips open, and then her and her little babies come out of wherever the hell it bit you at. Now, can you imagine walking around with a spider just inside you? It laid eggs and just waiting. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, something feels weird. Boom, spiders. That's hell. That's just hell on earth. And now, here's another one of my favorites. The story of La Llorona. La Llorona originates in Mexico and is about a mother named Mary. Or Maria. I apologize. I can't read my own handwriting. AKA La Llorona, who threw her children into a river upon realizing that her husband was unfaithful. She immediately regretted the impulsive decision, and so legend says that if you lurk around rivers or arroyos after dark, you might come across her walking spirit. La Llorona wears a highly haunting all-white lace outfit, and laying eyes on her will bring you death and doom. So when you see her, make sure you run the hell away before La Llorona sees you. You know, I've heard about this all the time. I've read different stories about this, and there's been different, I don't know, versions, or maybe it's their own story that, you know, she killed her kids because, you know, her husband was cheating on her. And then she grieved so much that she just either A, committed suicide, or B, just died of a broken heart, and her spirit is in limbo. And her purgatory is to walk around Earth or wherever they see her at, to try to either A, one version of the story says she tries to steal your children, or she tries to B, take your children's souls to bring her children back. Like I said, there's many different stories about La Llorona because, you know, once one story goes to the next person, all of a sudden the story you told about a piece of bread winds up being a story about a meatloaf, because everybody just changes everything as they go along. So the next one is one of the most famous ones. Everybody has done it. I don't care what you say. I've done it. It is Bloody Mary. And like I said, raise your hand if you have ever walked into the bathroom, turned the lights on and off, and chanted Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary in front of the mirror. Everybody right now should be holding their hands in the air. Because apparently this is how you summon a girl, an evil woman named Mary. And the good news is that sometimes Mary's nice. The bad news is 9 times out of 10 she appears as a corpse covered in blood and kills you. And that's another thing I can't understand. Like, even I did this. Like, you know what's going to happen. This crazy dead woman is going to pop up, show up, covered in blood, and kill you. But yet we are dumb enough to go in there and look in the mirror and be like, yeah, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, bam! Like, we're going to be the odd out that she's going to be nice to. Like, oh, here's $1 million. You know, thanks for waking me up. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, Candyman, the movie Candyman, great movie. Not so much the new one, but great movie. The old ones were. And it's loosely based on Bloody Mary. You say Candyman 5 times into the mirror, turn the light out, Candyman comes. But here's the thing. Candyman ain't nice. He kill you. He just destroys you. And everybody's like, oh man, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. You just play Russian roulette. It's the same thing. You don't understand it. But like I said, I was just as dumb and I did the Bloody Mary thing. Nothing happened. You know, but still I tried it. And here's one of my favorites. This is more of a cryptid than an urban legend, but the story of this is the urban legend. It is the Chupacabra. I just like saying Chupacabra. The Chupacabra is legendary cryptid rumored to meander around the southwest of Puerto Rico. This deranged-looking furry friend is said to drink the blood of goats and other unlikely livestock. And there's no way you want to be caught near one. Apparently, the Chupacabra has been doing his thing since the 90s, when 8 sheep were found drained of their blood in Puerto Rico. A few months later, a whole slew of farm animals were killed, and after that, people all over the world started citing reports of their livestock having 2 puncture wounds and 0 bodily fluids. So your Chupacabra is like your animal vampire. It's going to suck the blood out of everything that comes near it. I've watched a lot of things on Chupacabras. I've read a lot on Chupacabras. You know, I've watched videos of where, you know, they seen a Chupacabra, and it's just insane. So there's been a ton of legitimate research about whether or not the Chupacabra is real. And the answer is no, kinda-ish. I don't know. Sightings are probably just coyotes with mange, but still, watch your goats, especially the goats, because the Chupacabra loves to suck the blood of the goats. I don't know why, it's just its thing. Speaking of goats, we're going to move on to the next one. This is also a really, really good one. This is the Goat Man. You don't know the Goat Man? The half-human, half-goat hybrid monster who trolls around Maryland? Time to get acquainted, because this dude is frightening as, you know, F. According to urban legend, the axe-wielding Goat Man used to be a scientist until an experiment involving goats turned him into a goat. And he started murdering everyone with his axe. Dude turned into a goat and just started killing everybody. So, that's one version of the story. The other version of the story, same thing. Scientist turned into a goat, but he stays under a bridge. There's something called the Goat Man's Bridge. Every paranormal team that I can think of has gone to try to do the Goat Man, or try to get contact with the Goat Man. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it because I believe in werewolves. So how am I going to sit here and be like, oh, you believe in a Goat Man, and I believe in werewolves? Some people believe in Bigfoot. It's just insane, man. This goat man guards the bridge, and if you go to his bridge at a certain time of night, you're going to get got. That's just what it is. It's going to kill you. So, but seriously, look up the Goat Man. It's a pretty interesting read. The next up is a huge one in West Virginia. Is the Mothman. Kind of like the Goat Man, but with moths. Most people are somewhat familiar with this buggy buddy thanks to the legendary Richard Gere movie, The Mothman Prophecies. But if you need a reminder, Mothman is a man who is also a moth. He lives in West Virginia and first showed up during the 60s, when several folks claimed to see him. So, is Mothman real? Who knows? But look. If you want to believe there's a giant moth person roaming around the South, Go ahead. That's cool. Again, I believe in werewolves. Yep, you're going to hear that go, this guy's crazy. Well, I believe they're real. So, but the thing is the story goes, or the legend goes, that whenever you see a sighting of the Mothman, something terrible happens. Now, this is true. This really happened. In the 60s, the 50s or the 60s? I believe it was the 60s. There was a huge bridge in West Virginia that just totally collapsed and killed just about everybody on the bridge. There is a photo, a legit photo that has been, said real by police and, government officials from West Virginia that shows something with wings landed on the bridge the day prior. And the picture of it was taken. There's been sightings of the Mothman in West Virginia. They see the Mothman in their yard, and then the next day or a couple days later, their house gets burglarized and someone's brutally murdered. Or it's a murder scene and the Mothman is just saying, hey, there's a dead body here. And there's tons of them. Look them up. Mothman sightings and the things that have happened afterwards. And it's really strong. It's so believed that there is a day of the Mothman in West Virginia, and they have a statue of the Mothman built, and they're all into it. And a lot of people believe in the Mothman. The Mothman is a huge winged beast with red eyes. It resembles a moth. I don't know why you would pick a moth, but I would have picked a bee or something. This one is disturbing. This is the legend of the Licker. A dog. Excuse me. Here, cleanse your soul with this cute dog. This is a personal favorite due to how completely messed up it is. Here's the story. A girl and her dog are home alone. So she has her dog sleep under her bed because she's scared of under the bed. Kids scared under the bed, scared of the closet. In the middle of the night, the girl walks up to the dog, and the dog is sound asleep. Then she goes back to bed, and then she hears the sound of something creeping, dripping, coming from the bathroom. So she puts her hand underneath her bed for comfort and is reassured when her beloved dog licks it. But the next morning, she walks into the bathroom only to find her dog slaughtered and strung up from the shower rod, his blood dripping onto the floor on the wall. Someone has scrawled the message on the walls, "Humans can lick too." Holy crap. So this guy killed their dog, hid under the bed, little girl puts her hand down there and he licks her hand. Jesus Christ. Sorry. That humans can lick too. That's what he writes on the wall. Next up is going to be something crazy, but it is very true. Very, very true. If you don't believe me, look it up. It is the Bunny Man. That is my son trying to get a hold of his mother right now. If you thought the Goat Man was bad, meet the Bunny Man. He's a dude from Virginia who dresses up as a rabbit and murders people with an axe. Yes, another animal killing people with an axe. There's even an entire bridge named after him. Yes, another bridge with an animal that kills people with an axe. You see what I mean about stories changing as they go? Some say Bunny Man is an escaped convict who goes around Virginia skinning rabbits and hanging them on a Bunny Man, on the Bunny Man Bridge. And rabbit carcasses are said to show up around Halloween. So feel free to visit this October. I read that and was like, alright, this is just a spin-off of the Goat Man, the Mothman. No, this is a for real thing that happened. Look it up. Some of the killings that this thing or person has done is very disturbing and very disgusting. Here's my all-time favorite. I have done many episodes about them. So if you ever want to come back and check out older episodes, I say do it, because this is the Black-Eyed Children. This is also one of the ones I believe most in. Reports of the Black-Eyed Children panhandling their way around the country have been around since the 90s, which, judging from the list, was the creepiest decade ever. Verdicts still out on whether they're vampires or monsters, But the first person who saw them was a man named Brian Bethel, who claims they showed up in Texas. In conclusion, don't go to Texas or anywhere they see the black-eyed children. The black-eyed children will come. They're usually in a pair. One's an older kid. The other one is a younger kid. And they will knock on your door, whether it be your car, your camper, your house. And they will continuously knock on the door until you answer the door. They'll try their hardest to get in to your house, but don't let them. Okay, once you see the children, their eyes are completely black. There's no whites, there's no pupils, none of that. It's just like a black nothingness. And they will come in and they will kill you. That's the moral of the thing. These they will kill you. I watched a guy on YouTube. He said he figured out a frequency to call them. He said he spotted them in his house. He lives out in the country, way off the beaten path in a cabin. And he did this frequency through his stereo speakers. He did it for 5 nights. On the 5th night, kids started showing up. He has video of kids in his house at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, knocking on the door, wanting to come in. And then he starts seeing kids hiding in the grass and the bush. Yeah, it could be fake. It could just be him making a story up. What if he's not? What if these things are real? I mean, you got to think about it. You know, I sit here and laugh and say some of this stuff's not real, but again, I believe in werewolves. But the ocean, we don't even know about 95% of the ocean. What type of monsters could be down at the bottom of the sea, we don't know about. So how can we sit here and say that this isn't real? We've never seen it. So it's easy for us, you know, being human, like, well, I haven't seen it, so it's not real. Next up is the Slender Man. Yes, Slendy has made the list. You could go deep into the legend of Slender Man right this way. But here's the kicker. Here's the best version. The only version I think that is relevant for Slender Man. He's a scary man with super long, floppy arms who lives in the woods and preys on children. Slender Man is 100% not real. He's not real. He was invented on the internet in 2009 by Eric Knudsen. But this story has gotten so huge, everybody believes the Slender Man is real. This fake story made its way to urban legend so fast and furiously that kids started believing he was real. In fact, there have been multiple crimes attributed to Slender Man, including the high-profile case of 2 girls who were accused of stabbing their classmate in his name to make their way into Slender Man's mansion. They brutally stabbed this girl. I believe it was 12 times a piece. Yeah. All because they thought they would make it to Slender Man's mansion. Next up is a very good one too. Killer in the Backseat, High Beams. Everybody has heard this one, like the rest of them. I saved the worst for last though. You've heard some version of this story before if your childhood was as what the hell as mine was. A woman is driving home alone at night. Suddenly, the car behind her starts driving erratically and flashing its high beams. Understandably, she assumes she's being stalked and rushes home, getting her car safely into the garage so that the car behind her can't follow her in. And it turns out that there's been a man crouching in her back seat wielding a knife the whole time, and the other driver behind her had only been flashing his lights to try to get him from killing her or to get her attention, because he thought if I just keep flashing my flashers, my high beams, you know, this guy will keep seeing it and he won't kill her. So you can only guess what happened. Yeah, he killed her right there in the garage. You know, there's other things about this. If somebody's flashing their high beams at you, I'm not going to tell you to stop. You do your own thing. That's your decision. I know that there's a lot of gang initiations that if someone's driving towards you and they got their lights off and you hit them with the brights, that they chase you down and they kill you. I mean, that's really happened. But it's just amazing how urban legends can get so big so fast. But that is it for tonight's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it with the urban legends. I've been reading into them a lot. Some people had said, man, they liked urban legends, would like to hear about them, so I went ahead and did it. Like I said, you believe what you want to believe. You can laugh at me if you want. I can sit here and laugh at them too, but I believe in werewolves. So there's that. All right, guys. Check out ParanormalIncOhio.com for all our old haunts, our old lives, ghost stories. There you can find crystals we have for sale, sage bundles, jewelry, and everything to go with the crystals there for sale. You can go to Paranormal Inc. Ohio group. There we talk more in depth about the paranormal. You can go to TikTok. We talk a lot about the paranormal there, a lot about the podcast there. YouTube, Paranormal Inc. Ohio, YouTube. I am putting the podcast in video form on there. So the night that you hear the podcast, the next day, you will see it on YouTube. So you can listen to it. I know a lot of people like to have audio. A lot of people told me, hey, can you put them in video form? They'd rather watch and see pictures while, I'm telling the story. So I'm trying to do it for, both ways for everybody. But thank you guys. I hope you had a great night. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about some things. And I hope you guys have a great evening. You will hear from me tomorrow night. Thanks. Bye, everyone.